Welcome to another episode of Messy Friar. Today we're going to handle the question of peacemaking. In the Beatitudes, Christ told us, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for theirs will be the kingdom of heaven." But he said peacemaker, not peace lover. A lot of us like not to have conflict in our lives, but a lot of us keep our mouths shut when we shouldn't, when it's time to say something, when it's time to voice our opinion. Peace doesn't mean a lack of conflict, but it means the coming together of people of different ideas to form peace, compromise where you can get along. We will never be totally in peace in our world, most likely, but if we try to be peacemakers, we can make a difference. Saint Francis of Assisi went to the Sultan, the king of the Muslims during the Crusades, and he went to try to bring peace, to make peace. And he didn't accomplish that peace as far as the end of the Crusades, but he did by sitting down and talking to the Sultan, eating with them, breaking bread with them. They came to respect each other. And that is a big thing. Because part of the problem with our conflicts in our families, in our church, in our world, in our parish, is that we tend to draw a line in the sand and say it's us against them. We even like to refer to them as kind of less than human, because it's hard for us to hate a human. It's easier for us to hate a thug or whatever name that we name these people. But peacemakers are people who are willing to risk love at all costs, willing to see what the other side thinks. Doesn't mean they never do anything to push those people a little bit, because most of the great peacemakers in our Catholic tradition were very good at civil disobedience, meaning not going along with what the government said, but doing something to show that there's people that believe different. There's people that actually believe Jesus' message. Daniel Barrington, a priest who's in heaven now, he was very good at that. And during the atomic bomb period, they went into a place, I can't think of the name right now, but went into the place, went through the fence to get there. And they put blood on the plane or bomb that was there. It wasn't a real one, but it was the fact that they broke the law to say that this nonsense has to stop. Because Jesus didn't say, "Blessed are the warmongers, for they will enter the kingdom of heaven." He said, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And there's a difference there. St. Augustine came up with the theory of just war theory, where so many things had to be met to make sure that we didn't use more evil to stop the evil that was against us. But in all honesty, the last few wars we've been in haven't been just wars. A lot of people want to say that, but John Paul II, when we went into Iraq, when we went after the so-called weapons of mass destruction, he told us that it wasn't a just war, that it was more of a preemptive, and preemptive is not just. We can't stop somebody because we think they're going to do something. We can defend ourselves. But so much of what we defend these days, so much of what we get so upset about, is things. Things. Like the statues being torn down. I have my opinion on that, but it's a statue. But we're willing to shoot human beings, beat human beings that are trying to destroy our property. Peacemakers believe in getting people together to talk. And there's a lot of that that needs to happen in this world. But a lot of it comes from me. My uncle was a priest in the Archdiocese of New Orleans, and he was murdered in 1975 on May 7th. I was a senior on my senior trip when it happened. But at his memorial mass in Edgar, Louisiana, where he served as pastor, they played the song, "Let There Be Peace, and Let It Begin With Me." Brothers and sisters, that song still brings tears to my eyes. That song reminds me that my mission as a Catholic, as a Christian, is not to cause conflict. It's not to cause hatred, but it's to trust that the love of Jesus Christ, the God who is willing to die for us, is the answer. Peacemaking is hard, and it gets tiresome sometimes when somebody rejects your love. But what we have to do is remember the resurrection, and to remember, no matter how bad things are, if we practice Jesus' love, love wins. We may not see the fruit of it on this earth, but the martyrs that died instead of using violence in our past, ones that we celebrate at every Mass almost, they died not seeing the fruits. But once they were in heaven and they were in love, with love, God is love, they knew the fruits. Brothers and sisters, we have to take the gospel serious. We have to do our best to live that message of peace. And peace begins with justice.